Hello, this is Renata. I want to give you some things you can do if you are a victim of workplace mobbing, workplace bullying, workplace harassment, which is all psychological abuse in the workplace. Sometimes it is one person, maybe your boss or a coworker harassing you. Sometimes it is a group of people bullying you. And it is no different from playground bullies. It is harassment. Most of the time it is non-physical, but it can be physical, even as adults in the workplace. I've been a victim of this for some years now, and I've had to put some things in place to get myself through it. So I want to share some of those things with anyone who may be going through this, because it's very serious. And not only are people's reputations ruined, their professional relationships ruined, but people are isolated and stressed out, and some people cannot even handle it to the point where they commit workplace violence on their coworkers and on innocent people. And that is never justified, but it is a fact that people have gone over the edge and even committed suicide themselves. And so I just want to, again, just share some of the things that I've come up with in hopes that it can help someone. So if your job has a human resources department, they are there. You can definitely use that avenue to report any type of abuse or harassment that you're going through. I have read and talked to many people who have gone through their human resources department only to find out that it has things have been turned around on them, and they had become further harassed. So I'm not saying that to discourage anyone. I'm just saying this is the research that I have come up with, that human resources is put in place to protect the company from lawsuits, plain and simple. But they are there. They are there. And you should be able to report any sort of abuses there. The same with the union. You can report anything you need to report in the way of your workplace mobbing or harassment to your union representative. There's also the Department of Fair Housing and Employment that you can report these abuses to as well. And just depending on your company, there may be other avenues or other ways to report these abuses as well. So you look into that for your own particular situation. Also, do your research. Go online, look at different YouTube videos, read different books on workplace mobbing and harassment. There is a ton of information out there on that. There are organizations put in place to help victims of the workplace mobbing and harassment. So make sure you do your research. Also, you want to be prayed up. You have got to be prayed up dealing with this, because this is one of the worst experiences that most people will experience, because you're trapped in this place with all these people, depending on how you're targeted in the workplace. But it could be quite a few people, just depending on the situation. Everyone's situation is going to be different. But it could be one person, or it could be quite a few ganging up on one person. And that is extremely hard to deal with, whether you're at work 4 hours or 8 hours or 1 hour. It's hard to deal with. It's very organized. They are definitely working with someone. In some cases, it will be the security in the office who has access to the cameras and knows the target's whereabouts, and it's just highly coordinated. And all these people ganging up on one person, it's definitely not easy. So you want to tap into your spiritual life. Definitely tap into your spiritual life. This will become your source of strength, and it will help you to endure this. Okay, so prayer, reading your Bible, and meditating will definitely help you. Any physical activity that you can do, walking, riding your bike, jogging, going to the gym, playing baseball, football, whatever you can do physically on a regular basis is going to release good endorphins in your body and is really going to help you. Okay, you want to do anything that helps you to stay in a positive place. What may help one person may not help everyone. So whatever helps you to lift your spirits, those are the type of things you want to do on a regular basis. Surround yourself with people who love you when you leave your workplace, your family, your friends, whoever it is that has you in their best interests. You want to regularly be around those people and talk about it. Talk about it to them. If you feel like you need a therapist, by all means, you should get one. And process this, because you don't want to keep this bottled up. You want to get this out. If you are strong enough and you're in that place where you're not afraid to expose what's happening to you, then find an avenue to expose it. Blog about it. Open up a YouTube channel. Speak to other people about it. Get it out. Expose it. Expose it, because this should not be happening. Should not be happening. You did nothing to deserve it. Nothing. These are corporate bullies. And it needs to be exposed. And a lot of times this will happen to whistleblowers, someone that was standing up for something right in the workplace, but it gets turned on them. So just know that it's not your fault. You've done nothing to deserve it, and you really should consider exposing it if you're not afraid to do that. Some people really will suffer more repercussions if they do expose it, so you make sure that's something that you want to do. Maintain your composure at all times. No matter what they do to you, do not fly off the handle. Do not be baited into confrontations, because they will try to do that. But on the same token, there may be times where you need to assert yourself. Perhaps someone is trying to take credit in the workplace for something that you've done. You need to speak up. Don't be afraid. Don't let them bully you into not having what's rightfully yours, or not getting the credit that you deserve for a particular project or something. So assert yourself, but do it in a very calm manner. You may not want to do it in a group setting, or you may. It just depends on the situation. But however you do it very tactfully. Always remain professional when you're at work. Don't give them a reason to turn the situation on you in any kind of way. So never fly off the handle and show anger. And, also on that same note, try not to be very emotional. Try not to break down in tears when you're at work, because they'll turn that around to say that that's a sign that you're unraveling. So just be very careful. Also, don't be baited into gossiping, because a lot of times they may send a particular person to try to information gather, or try to bait you into talking bad about your boss, or talking bad about your coworkers, or talking bad about the people that are harassing you. Don't be baited into that. Don't be baited into that, because they will misconstrue your words and turn everything on you. Because remember, they're looking for a justification to get rid of you. So don't give them a reason. Okay, and you want to get out on your lunch break. Take your morning break, your afternoon break, if you get one at your company, because you kind of need that to decompress and to stretch and to, get yourself in a good place. So take your breaks and go out and get fresh air whenever you can. Okay, and you want to do things, I think I mentioned that already, to stay grounded. That's your prayer, that's your meditation, that's your grounding. If you don't know about grounding and earthing, they're the same. Some people call it grounding, some people call it earthing. Look that up. That also will help you. And anything you do to get yourself in a good place, then make sure you do that when you're outside of the workplace. And also inside the workplace. But what I'm trying to say is you need to, on a regular basis, do things to keep yourself grounded. Okay. Do not quit your job if you can help it at all. Now, if you just absolutely can't take it anymore, then you do what's best for you. But in general, they do not have a reason to fire you. But they have recruited all of these people into harassing you, or maybe one person. Just depends on the situation again. But people are harassing you in the workplace because they're trying to force you out of your job. But they do not have a legitimate justification to fire you, so they're trying to get you to quit. And if you quit, guess what? That was voluntary. You quit, which means you will not qualify for unemployment because you quit your job. In most cases. Now, there may be a few rare cases where you will still qualify. But for the most part, when you voluntarily quit, you do not get unemployment. And that's why they try to force you out. Because you walked in there and said, I am resigning. So you want to really, really, really think about that. If you're getting to the point where you just can't get up in the morning, you just dread going to work, you've decided that you need to leave because that's what's best for you, then you may want to start to look for a job at that point, because it is easier to find a job when you have a job. Okay? Because you're stressed in the situation you're in, but you're going to be extra stressed if you are out of a job, you can't pay your bills, you're not getting unemployment. It will be a domino effect from there, because you will more than likely lose your house or your apartment, maybe your car, and it'll just take off from there. Unless you have another source of income. Some people do. Unless you have someone else helping you. Some people do. Every situation is going to be different, but basically, you might want to look for another job before you quit. Okay? Up to you, but that's just my, it's just my take on it. Considering everything that they've taken you through, you definitely deserve your unemployment. You really do. Now, you may be able to work something out with your boss. If you just feel like you just really don't want to work there anymore, you may be able to work something out with them where they will not dispute your unemployment. You might be able to ask them that, and they may want you out so bad where maybe they will agree to that. But that's, I don't know. I don't know how often that happens, but before you just walk out, you might want to consider at least, seeing if they'll help you out in that way. Or in some cases, they may offer you a severance package. But it still would be more advisable to try to find a job first before you leave. Okay, and that's another thing. You want to just kind of challenge yourself. You want to challenge yourself not to let these bullies just force you out. Just challenge yourself. You'll see how strong you really are. Take a leave of absence if you need to. There is family medical leave available, I believe, in every state in the United States. And you get, it's either 6 weeks or 12 weeks a year. It doesn't have to all be taken at once. It can be taken a month here and 6 weeks there and 2 weeks there. But I think it is a total of like 12 weeks a year. It is there for emergencies, for yourself, for your family, for anything like any kind of medical emergencies or anything like that. You could qualify, or you may qualify for that under stress. So you can talk to your doctor, who can help you to fill out those forms. You can talk to a therapist, a psychiatrist, a psychologist, who can help you to fill out those forms. They can possibly help you get disability if you are under stress. So it's important to let them know what is happening to you and that it is a very stressful situation, and maybe they can help you. And if you are getting the unemployment, then you won't have that you may not have that financial hardship. I believe that everyone's disability amount will be based on the amount of time they've worked. So it would vary person to person, but it will be an income. If you do take that family medical leave or any kind of disability leave or any kind of time off work, make sure you're doing something to get yourself in a better place so that when you do go back to work, you go back much stronger than when you left. I had to do that myself, and it really, really, really helped. It really helped. So when I look back on that, I'm really glad that I did take that time off rather than to just quit my job, because I was at the point where I really wanted to quit. It was like a matter of days. I could see myself just quitting. But instead, I took a leave of absence, and that made all the difference. So you should really consider looking into that if that's something that interests you. I think I mentioned don't be afraid to let someone know. It's really important to process what's happening, because this is psychological warfare. It shouldn't be happening. And it's a crime that needs to be exposed. These people are terrific actors. They act so professional at work in front of other people. But they are harassing and bullying and in some cases assaulting people in the workplace. And it needs to be, they need to be outed for what they're doing. They really do. Something else that you can do is make sure that you're saving any extra money that you may have. Maybe you don't buy that shirt that you really want, or maybe you don't buy that pair of shoes, or maybe you don't go to the movies, or maybe you don't go out to dinner and drinks, and to save that money in case you find yourself on disability, or they do let you go, find a reason to let you go, because they do that. They'll find a reason to have layoffs just to get rid of you. So, save your money so that you can make it until you find another job. Also, save your vacation time, or if you have a bunch of vacation time already, you might want to take a day and add it to a Friday. So you'll have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off. Or if a holiday is coming and you're already going to get 3 days off, maybe add one of your vacation days and get 4 days off. Those are mini vacations. Mini vacations really help. Really helps when you don't have to go in there and deal with that psychological abuse. Okay, so those are some of my suggestions. Those are some that I have tried for myself. And I hope that they will help you. And I just want to say that I just want to really reiterate that that you did nothing wrong if you're going through this. These are corporate bullies who have recruited other cruel people into your harassment. It's not, it has nothing to do with you. It is them. They need fixing. Something's wrong with them, not you. So just stay strong. And stay prayed up. You know, when you go to work, you are fighting a spiritual warfare, and you really need to take the Lord with you. You really, really do, and you need to pray for those people, because something's seriously wrong with people who would gang up on one person, and these are adults. So it's totally unacceptable. It's unacceptable for children to do this to one another, much less adults. So never think it's your fault. Never think you've done anything wrong, because you have not. Okay, so God bless and stay strong.